Hello, this is the chapter 15, the document 2, Cyclic Evolution of the Ovarian Hormones. It's page 296, 297 yearbook. And in this document, we have to find out what is the relationship between the ovaries and the uterus. And we have to find out the nature of this relationship. In order to find that, we have to go to a series of experiments that are summarized in document A. In the first lot, we have mice that their ovaries are not removed, whereas in the second, we have mice that their ovaries are removed. The one that their ovaries are not removed, we have cyclic development of the endometrium, whereas the one that their ovaries are removed, we have no development of the endometrium. This shows that the ovaries are responsible for the development of the endometrium. But how? Is it by nerves or is it by what is called hormonal communication? That's why we removed the ovaries of lot 3 and then we grafted them away under the skin. Um, we found out that there is cyclic development of the endometrium similar to that in lot 1 where the ovaries are not removed. So this indicates that the ovaries secrete chemical substance, we call it hormones, and these hormones they are received by the endometrium because the endometrium cells has uh, has receptors and develop the endometrium. Now, what is the amount of these hormones that are secreted, and are they secreted at the same time, in the same amount? That's why we have document 4 or experiment 4. In experiment 4, we remove the ovaries and we have daily constant injections of the ovarian hormones. Now, when we did that, there is development of the endometrium, but there is no cyclic development or variation of the endometrium. That's why we deduce that the ovaries are responsible for the development of the uterus by secreting hormones, and these hormones are not constant during the days of the cycle. Now, what are these hormones? These hormones are estrogen and progesterone. Now, estrogen and progesterone are two hormones. Estrogen is designed by the blue and progesterone by the pink. Estrogen during the follicular phase is secreted into a high level where it increased to reach its peak and 2 days before ovulation, and then it decreased. Whereas the progesterone is not secreted during the follicular phase, so the follicular phase is not characterized by by secretion of progesterone, but by its absence. It's only characterized by secretion of estradiol. Now, why? Because the tertiary follicle here, the tertiary follicle, is developing into a Graafian follicle. And the Graafian follicle now needs to be ruptured in order to make what's called ovulation. Now, thus, we can deduce that the cells of the Graafian follicles are secreting estrogen, but they're not secreting progesterone. So the cells of the granulosa and the internal theca, they are secreting estrogen. What secretes progesterone? After ovulation, during the luteal phase, we have an increase in progesterone up to a peak, and this reaches to what's called around here 25 nanogram per milliliter. So we're going to have secretion of progesterone and as well as secretion of estrogen. Now, the amount of estrogen is less. The amount of estrogen is less than during the follicular phase. But both of them are secreted. Now, if we want to find out why they are secreted, or what secretes them, we know that the graphene follicle transforms into a yellow body, and the yellow body transforms into what is called white body. So after its transformation into yellow body, the yellow body secretes progesterone as well as estrogen. And both progesterone and estrogen, whereas when it degenerates into white body, here there is no more secretion at the end of the cycle, and menstruation occurs at the level of the uterus. So the luteal phase is characterized by secretion of large amount of progesterone and smaller amount of estradiol than that in the follicular phase. Now, to know the function of estrogen and progesterone and how two um, these two cycles synchronize the ovarian and with its hormone and the uterine cycles, we need to go to this document D. In document D, we have the tertiary follicle. The tertiary follicle is um, developing. Upon its development, we have secretion for what is called the estrogen, so the estrogen level increased at no progesterone at ovulation. At ovulation, there is rupture of this follicle, and the at day 14, and progesterone start to be secreted. Now, after that, also we have secretion of the estrogen because the yellow body secretes both progesterone and estrogen. Now, when it degenerates into what is called white body, sorry, the white body does not secrete anything because it's a non-functional body. Now, at the level of the uterine cycle, we know that this hormone, the estrogen, develops the endometrium. But how? It develops the uterine and vaginal mucosa. It makes the cells more and more. And we have a development also of a tube-like glands. These are the tube-like glands, see? And we've got a development of cervical also at the cervix. It acts, so it acts at the uterus, the vagina, and at the cervix. Here, the vagina and the cervix are not shown, only the uterus, the uterine lace, yani. And we have also growth of blood vessels. These are the blood vessels here. Now, during the secretory phase, the third phase, we have transformation of the gland cells into spiral, as you see here. So, progesterone is responsible for stimulation of gland secretion in the uterine mucosa and also in the cervix. Cervix is not shown here. We have development of spiral blood vessels, arterioles, and also we have what is called increase in the body temperature and inhibition of the uterine contraction, which we discuss it later. Sorry. Now, after that, we're going to have here a dense uterine endometrium, and which will be ended by the menstruation. And that's all. So at the luteal phase, at the follicular phase, we have estrogen increased in parallel with the development of the follicle. At ovulation, we have estrogen secretion due to rupture of the graphene follicle, so it decreased. Whereas during the luteal phase, we have rupture of follicle, which is transformed to yellow body, and we have degeneration of the white body into white body, which causes the hormone level to decrease, and thus, since the hormone level is decreased, we've got menstruation. And that's all. Thank you for listening.